in 2025, the average house price is about 10 times the UK average yearly salary. About 30, 40 years ago, it was about 4 to 5 times the average UK salary. Buying a house in the UK today is a necessity, but at the same time, it's being harder and harder for the normal person to save up a deposit and buy a mortgage. Even though that is probably the best thing that you can do with your money, just because when renting, that money essentially goes into the bin. You are paying that £12,000, £15,000 to the landlord, and you'll never see that money again. So essentially, it's very important to buy a house, to get a mortgage, to get on that ladder, property ladder. However, not many people can actually afford to save up and be able to put down a deposit. So what's very important, and what everyone needs to start doing, is the following. Every month, you need to write down all of your expenses on an Excel spreadsheet or whatever you're using, Google Docs. Write down all of your expenses, all of your outgoings, all of your costs, such as buying food, getting a haircut, the occasional trip to go into the cinema. Write all of that down. Then run that against all of your incomes. So your job, your wage, any possible side hustles, and see how much you have left. Obviously, I do this myself every month. I do account 100 quid maybe, as low as I can comfortably live with, for some fun money, just going to the cinema, whatever I want to do, getting some food out. The key is tracking all of this each month, because when you do track it, you realize just how much you're spending on total crap. And just the other day, I was really hungry after work. I cooked something, but unfortunately I left it out overnight, and I was like, nah, I'm not eating that, I'm gonna get the shits or something. It was like pasta with cream. So I had nothing to really come home to eat, and the fridge was kind of empty. The weekly Tesco shopping was in a couple of days, so I thought, fuck it, might as well go out and get some takeout. Looked online on Uber Eats or whatever, and how much is it? It's like 30 quid for 2 burgers and some fries. And that kind of money, people are spending that kind of money every week, every other day. That adds up to a lot of money each month. Even if it's 100 quid, 200 quid each month, if you put that into stocks each month, you would have £1,000 more in your stock account. And in 10 years' time, you could be up £1,000, £2,000 extra, just for, not buying something like 2 burgers, which is gonna make you happy for like 2 minutes, and then you're just gonna forget all about it. I know it's a lot of effort doing the little stuff like cooking and preparing your meals for the week, but it can be done. It can be done quite easily, to be honest. Go to Tesco's, get yourself some Tupperware, get yourself some big tubs of Greek yogurt, some frozen berries, some oats, some maybe nuts, although I don't really recommend nuts, they're very caloric. Put that all into the Tupperware, and there you go. That's your first meal of the day. You can make like 3 to 4 of them. That's what I do. Bring them into work. Then for lunch, you can do exactly the same. Make yourself a big bowl of pasta with some protein. Obviously, put it in the fridge overnight. Don't do what I did. And that is all of your food for the week. You don't need to be spending all of that stupid money on something that you're gonna eat in 5 minutes, and that's just, that money is gonna go into the bin. So obviously, currently you need about 5 to 10%, depending on what deal you're going for, when you're buying a house in the UK. And currently, with London prices, that works out to, I think, about 20k for 5%. That is quite a lot of money. And the worst thing is that people will save up that £20,000 in their stock account, and when they get to that £20,000, they will sell all of their stocks. And the bad thing about that is that money compounds, and it was the hardest thing to get that £20,000. But the next £20,000, once you already have a base of money, of capital, is much easier to make, because every year, even if you make 10% on that 20k, that's already like £2,000. So your money does stack up the more you have it. So what I would recommend, and what I'm doing myself, is I am only really gonna be getting that mortgage once I have at least 40, 50k, just because I don't want to start again from zero, because it takes that much longer. It takes way longer to start from zero. So that is currently my plan. I do intend to get on the property ladder as soon as possible, because obviously, as I said, renting is a waste of money. It does give you the freedom to move about the country, but if you are more of an investor, you do realize that buying a house, buying a property, is an investment. It's an asset that's hard. It's hard to make liquid, but you can do that. My current plan is to get a house, pay maybe half of the mortgage, and then see if I can sell it, and most likely move to a country like Poland, where I'm from, where I'll have that extra 50, 60k after 5 to 10 years, which I would never have, which would have just gone to the bin by renting. So one key thing I do want to recommend is opening a lifetime ISA. So a lifetime ISA is a form of government help, just like a cash ISA, just like a stocks and shares ISA. But what a lifetime ISA does is, for every 4k that you pay into it each year, the government will give you an extra 20% on your money. So this means that if you put 4k in to your lifetime ISA, you will get 1k for free each year. So if you put 8k, you will get 2k. If you put 12k, you will get 3k for free. It's currently the best thing that you can do if you're getting yourself ready to buy yourself a house, get yourself a mortgage. There used to be a thing called Help to Buy. However, the government discontinued that, and only very rarely banks do open up that scheme. However, currently it's mostly unavailable. So a lifetime ISA can be opened with various brokers. It's not particularly profitable for the brokers, so not a lot of them actually offer it. One good one that I'm using personally is Hargreaves Lansdown. And what you do is you open up an account with Hargreaves Lansdown, you set a monthly investing schedule. So what I did is I got 4K, divided it by 12, and set my account so that I invest that 333 or whatever it comes out to each month into my lifetime ISA. I set up my lifetime ISA so that it invests into the S&P 500 accumulation fund from Vanguard, which after a lot of thought I reckon to be the best one, just because it has a good split of the biggest US companies. And even though there is not any diversification when it comes to outside of the US, I still believe that it's the best choice, as Europe is growing very slow because of all the restrictions that the government puts on Europe, and because of the fact that because of the so many countries in Europe, it's very hard for them to come to an agreement on any fiscal policy or anything like that to make Europe as a whole grow economically, and they're very conservative when it comes to that. So that cuts out Europe. China is obviously a communist government, so even though it's growing very quickly, getting money in and out of China is hard. It's much harder than the US. And obviously other emerging markets like Latin America, they can be good for investing. However, they're not good enough, in my opinion, to stake your whole investing ETF on. So, therefore, investing in the S&P 500 is the best choice, in my opinion, for a fund like a lifetime ISA, which you will be taking out after a year, after 2 years. So, in my opinion, that is the best choice. Anyway, tell me guys in the comments if you are in a similar situation to me. Give yourselves and me some tips on saving for a mortgage. I will be documenting my journey on this YouTube account, so you can follow me. If you liked this video, subscribe and like my account, my YouTube account. And if you are interested in skater, poetry inspired clothing, then please check out my brand called poetarchives.com. I will leave a link in the description and in this video as well. So go check that out. I sell some really good quality t-shirts and other type of clothing like hoodies and sweatshirts. Thank you very much for watching, and take care of yourselves.